Today, the resident stars of Disney-MGM Studios celebrate 100 years of magic. We invite you to share a dream come true.
Walter Elias Disney was born on December 5, 1901 in Chicago, Illinois. He died in 1966 from lung cancer. Don't smoke, kids. A century after he was born, his 100th birthday would be celebrated at Walt Disney World with 100 years of magic celebration. It would start on October 1st, 2001 and run 17 months, ending in February 2003, using MGM Studios as its centerpiece. As a side note, Disney-MGM Studios is now Disney's Hollywood Studios. If you want to know why, click on the link above or in the description. Disney-MGM would see the construction of Mickey's Sorcerer's Hat exactly where Disney's MGM's park icon should go, in the courtyard at the end of Hollywood Boulevard. It was another one of those, just because you could, doesn't mean you should. But I digress. They would also get an attraction called One Man's Dream, a walk-through exhibit of Walt and Walt's achievements, presented by D23. All of the parks would get a new, or at least a reimagined version of a parade, because everyone loves a parade. And it was one of Walt's requirements, which is why it was a day one attraction of both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. There were also several attractions that opened during the celebration that somehow got connected with the 100-year celebration, but really weren't, but it was good for the promotion. Disney-MGM's icon for years was the Eiffel Tower, as sort of a replica of the tower outside of the original studios. Then someone got the idea that Disney-MGM should get a new icon, a Mickey Sorcerer's Hat, and built a really big one right in front of the Chinese Theater. We called it the BAH, the Big Ass Hat, and it wasn't exactly a term of endearment. The hat itself was 100 feet tall, but because it was tilted and resting on an ear, its total height was 122 feet. And it was just wide enough to completely obliterate the great movie ride behind. Beneath it were exhibits and interactive displays about Walt. After the celebration, it became a pin trading station. It served a few other purposes in its life, and then was finally removed in 2015. Maybe the most important addition to the celebration was One Man's Dream. That man was Walt Disney, and this attraction more or less details his life, his achievements, from film to television to the parks. This is one of those attractions that should be a must-see for any Disney fan. One Man's Dream is not only about Walt, but dozens of models and actual hardware from film and park attractions, from a multiplane camera to the original model of Spaceship Earth. It's presented by D23. D23 is Disney's fan club. It's sort of short for Disney 1923, the year Walt started the studios. It's not limited to the parks, but covers the entire company from Disney cruise to the parks to all things Disney. But more important than a fan club, D23 manages the company's archives. The Disney Archives was started by a guy named Dave Smith. He started documenting Disney in 1967 with Disney's permission. Soon after, the company decided they needed to preserve their history and hired Dave in 1970. As the Disney archivist, he was one of the most powerful people in the company. Not in terms of decision-making, but what should go into the archives. For instance, he was able to confiscate models and artwork from Imagineering, much to the displeasure of many of them who thought of them as personal achievements. When Walt died, they locked up his office, but years later, Dave had access and documented everything in the room down to the number of paper clips in the desk. It's thanks to Dave, and now D23, that the company's history is so well documented and is the jewel of corporate archives. Dave was considered the final authority on Disney history. At the end is a movie about Walt and his life. It's a worthy 100 years attraction. The Disney Stars and Motor Cars Parade was the 100 Years Parade developed for Disney-MGM Studios. According to the show director, The parade was to symbolically represent the night of December 21st, 1937, when Walt witnessed the line of celebrities that walked into his premiere of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The celebrities in this parade arrive in cars custom-themed to their movies, led and followed by a police escort. In true Hollywood fashion, there's a master of ceremonies to introduce all the celebrities as they arrive on scene.
Automobile, there they are, those two stars, Mary Poppins. It's perfect and practically perfect in every way. Mary Poppins! Oh, you're so beautiful, Mary!
Note none of these cars are actually classic cars. They're all mules, running on batteries. There was a dedicated soundtrack, but only the start and ending portions were used during the parade. Everything in between was float-specific music, which didn't work in this type of parade.
Spirit of vision, the world could believe in. One man daring to go where no one else had gone.
I have two versions of this parade on my channel. One is a Master of Ceremonies dominant parade, while the other is more of a soundtrack dominant parade. In November 2004, the Hollywood Holiday Parade debuted, which was the Christmas overlay of the Disney Stars and Motorcars Parade. This parade would replace the regular parade during the holiday season. The Fab Four get kicked out of their roles, replaced by a fat guy in a red suit.
Merry Christmas, everyone! It's good to see you all. Happy holidays! There's a good little girl. Did you leave me those good cookies last year?
Both parades would get shut down a couple of months after the Disney-MGM, Disney Hollywood Studios turnover in March 2008. Playhouse Disney Live on Stage opened at the same time as the 100 Years celebration, but has since been disassociated with the celebration.
Mickey Mouse to Animal Kingdom, Mickey Mouse to Animal Kingdom, come in Animal Kingdom.
If Disney-MGM was the most 100 Years centric, Animal Kingdom was the least. They had all the 100 years of magic, kiosks, and merch, but Animal Kingdom's parade, Mickey's Jungle Jammin' Parade, lacked any mention of the celebration. No pre-parade announcements, nor any signage or mention of the celebration during the parade. And nobody cared. It had an earwig soundtrack and pleasing visuals, and lived the longest of any of the 100 Years parades, running until May 2014.
Here we go now! So sing it out!
Barking round and screeching low and dance along and stomp and jump and deep and soar.
Join the adventure, the party's begun. We're jamming in the jungle to the rhythm of one.
As the story goes, Mickey and the gang are coming to town on an expedition to discover new exciting lands. Along the way, the influences of the places they visited were incorporated, which is how the show director explains the very different parade segments, Pata Pata, Masquerada, and Iko Iko. It is the coming together of life and celebration. Like the Disney Stars Parade, there was a Christmas overlay introduced in 2004 called Mickey's Jingle Jungle Parade, which replaced Mickey's Jungle Jammin' Parade every holiday season until the end.
everybody. Thanks for joining us on our Jingle Jungle holiday adventure. This is my favorite time of year. Yep, life sure is an adventure with new reasons to celebrate every day. So join in the spirit of the season. It's everywhere you turn. Come on!
So sing it out. Have fun and dance along.
In honor of our very favorite dreamer.
Epcot was much like Animal Kingdom, but at least their parade, Tapestry of Dreams, specifically mentioned Walt and the 100-year celebration. The parade was led by the Dreamcatcher, with 3 dream seekers which collects the dreams of the guests as it passes by. What follows is the visible dream, in which ideas, images, and emotions are evoked.
What do you dream?
Welcome! Willkommen!
Hola!
Bienvenue! We are the Dream Seekers, here to conjure for you! This earthly celebration is not what it seems.
The visions you'll see are the power
Of dreams!
Come drop in our nets all the dreams in your heart. We'll weave them together. We're ready to start.
And now, as the drum beats inspire us to play,
We'll show you the world that you dream of today.
A world full of love.
And compassion.
rejoices.
A world you created. So lift up your voices to celebrate all of the red, blues,
And green.
and welcome the future, the Tapestry of Dreams!
Tapestry of Dreams was a reworked version of Tapestry of Nations. I explained the Tapestry parades in my Epcot Millennium Celebration video. Click the link above or in the description.
The most extraordinary the world has ever seen. The human species is still reaching for the stars. Today, we are the shapers of the world of tomorrow. Often we can't explain what we see, but the era we are living in today is a dream coming true.
Of all the 100 Years parades, Tapestry of Dreams was the shortest lived, ending the day the 100 Years of Magic celebration ended. Disney-MGM may have been 100 Years Central, but Magic Kingdom probably had the best entrance. But then too, Magic Kingdom always has a meticulous entrance.
Now close your eyes. Open your heart.
Special delivery!
Cinderella Surprise Celebration was a new show on the Castle Forecourt stage, opening the same day as the 100 Years celebration. Forecourt shows were always popular. It was one of the only shows that features the Disney characters live on stage. Technically speaking, it wasn't a 100 Years show. It had nothing to do with Walt or the 100 years since his birth. But Cinderella Surprise Celebration is still associated with the 100 Years of Magic.
Tinkerbell! Where have you been? You were dreaming? A dream that really can come true? Oh, those are extra magical! Well, are you gonna tell me about it? Dreams don't run out when you share them, silly! Or my name isn't Peter Pan!
Share a Dream Come True was the parade created for Magic Kingdom for the 100 Years celebration.
Once upon a dream, was all started by a mouse, then what happened, Tink?
There were some older elements included in the parade, like magical moments, where the parade is stopped and cast members grab kids out of the audience to participate in some sort of activity. They're mostly picture-taking opportunities for the parents, though a kid being dragged in front of a crowd probably scarred some of them for life. In case you're wondering, yes, snow globes were a thing Disney was trying to push back then. Think pins or Funko Pops. But they weren't snow globes. They were dream bubbles, which symbolized the many dreams of Walt Disney that he made come true. There was supposed to be a stream of air that came through the bottom of the globes that were supposed to keep pieces of mylar in the air to make it look like a snow globe, but it didn't always work. And with no air circulation inside of them, can you say broiled mouse?
You know what they say, dreams are better when you share them. Now, you haven't seen any princesses around here, have you? Well, besides my Minnie? Good to see you. Oh, and good to see you too.
The Share a Dream Come True parade ran until August 2006. There was no Christmas overlay, since Once Upon a Christmas Time Parade is Magic Kingdom's annual Christmas parade. Of course, Disney sold 100 Years of Magic merch, coffee cups, CDs, even magic towels, which kicked off this video. Honestly, it was the best 100 Years logo I could find. And there were the other usual suspects, such as Kellogg's, which offered a pin. I believe you had to send in for it. And of course, McDonald's. They had 4 glasses, one for each park. I don't know how many Happy Meal box designs there were, and I think there were 100 Happy Meal figurine toys.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just a few minutes, as part of our celebration of 100 Years of Magic, Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom in Phoenix will proudly present our Share a Dream Come True parade. Prior to today's presentation, we are pleased to display 2 vehicles from Walt Disney's very own collection. They are a vintage electric car that Walt Disney used to chauffeur his special guests through the streets of Disneyland, and an authentic stagecoach in which Walt Disney himself would ride during parades and special events. And right now, traveling in these very unique and memorable vehicles, please welcome the Grand Marshals for today's
Lend us your ears as we conjure and call on the greatest, most wonderful dreamer of all.
Walt Disney once said, "The age we're living in is the most extraordinary the world has ever seen. The human species is still reaching for the stars. Today we are the shapers of the world of tomorrow. Often we can't explain what we see, but the era we are living in today is a dream coming true."
We're celebrating 100 years of magic, and Walt Disney started it all. Once he said,
We have created characters and animated them, revealing through them that the things we have in common far outnumber and outweigh those that divide us.
in 30 minutes, Disney-MGM Studios with Chevrolet proudly present a convoy of cherished Disney characters cruising by just for you in the Disney Stars and Motor Cars Parade. inspired 100 years of magic. In fact, he once said,
There's really no secret about our approach. We're interested in doing things that are fun. Fantasy, if it's really convincing, represents a flight into a dimension that lies beyond the reach of time. The entertainment we create is meant to appeal to every member of the family.
In just 5 short minutes, Disney-MGM Studios and Chevrolet proudly present a glittering galaxy of your family's most beloved Disney stars. Keep your eyes on the boulevard for the Disney Stars and Motor Cars Parade.
Walt Disney sparked our imaginations during the last 100 years of magic. A master storyteller, he said,
Story-wise, we sharpen the decisive triumph of good over evil, the issues which represent our ideals. Most things are good, and they are the strongest things. There are evil things too, but good can always triumph over evil. There's a beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away.
In Walt Disney's own words, the story of Fantasmic was foretold.
There's a beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away.
Well, thanks for watching, and you could make my dreams come true by liking and subscribing. Or you could like and subscribe anyway.